I really want today to be a great setting, be an opportunity for us to be able to really just come together, give you some clarity, give you some energy, give you momentum, and most importantly, give you alignment in terms of moving forwards around how we're now going to win and dominate over the next 90 days. And I want to make sure that every single one of you can walk away with a different level of thinking, a different level of operation, a different level of behavior, so that, like I've spoke to you about before, that this becomes the catalyst, this becomes the springboard, this becomes the foundation from which you're now going to go and propel off from, and you're going to walk away from the next couple of days knowing that you're going to be a different human, you're going to be a different athlete, you're going to be a different coach, you're going to be a different business owner. If you're a high performance coach, this is basically what we're doing. I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest growth areas that you've now got that you need to absolutely lock in on. We've got brand, community, AI, and systems. They are the 3 biggest factors that are now going to drive your growth, your progress, the longevity, sustainability, profitability of your company now moving forwards, in my opinion, based upon where we are at this present moment in time. And that's exactly what we're going to be focusing on, exactly what we're now doing. Because without you, there's nothing. Without a strong message, there's nothing. Without a strong story, without strong positioning, there's nothing. People buy into people before they buy into coaching. So without that, there's nothing. That's collaborations, partnerships, connections, who you're associated with, how you can convey your message. There's community. All of you are here, you've flown however many miles to basically come and spend 2 days. And the reality is, yeah, it's great for you to listen to me jump around, but the reality is for you is like, how can I find my people? As human beings, we want to belong, we want to connect, we want to find the others. And right now, more than ever, everything works in pendulums, everything works in shifts. So right now we've gone from everybody being stuck in COVID and everyone went online to now everybody wants to go back to belonging, connection. They want to spend as much time with people. They want to go and be in groups. And there's now this huge opportunity over here. Community is going to be the glue. It's the proximity. It's now the energy. It's the heartbeat. It's the container. People want association and they want to be able to identify. And then number 3, I'm going to come on to that in a second because I have my own opinions on that. Let's now look at weaponizing your personal brand. 3 big principles that we're now going to look at. Number 1, can you build a business without changing who you are? I want you to think about right now. Am I currently building a business that's in alignment with me, my values, my story, what I stand for, what I stand against, what I'm actually about? Number 2, the biggest shift you've got to make is look at me till you get me. So when somebody's now reading your content, they're watching what you're doing, they're looking at how you're living, they're looking at how you're speaking, they're looking at everything. Is it now done with the level of intentionality of creating relevance and relatability for you to whisper in their ears? Or is it now done with this mentality of like, oh, I need to show you how great I am so that I hope that you can now basically work with me because everybody talks about bragging about how good you are. So like that, even just as a mentality shift, is absolutely everything. And also, final piece, if you want to attract 50 perfect fit clients into your world, you've now got to repel 100. But there's a way in which you can now do this whilst keeping integrity in check. There's a way in which you can still do this, but we need to know kind of what's the hill that you're now going to die on. What is it that you're now really going to stand for? So what do you need to do in order for you to be able to create a personal brand? So what I've tried to do is basically break this down into 4 key areas. All right, we've got the self, we've got the story, we've got your standards, and we've also got how to showcase. So they're the key ingredients that you've got to be able to look at. Do I have a strong vision and mission? Am I clear around what I'm working towards, why I'm working towards it? Do I have strong positioning? This is who I'm for, this is who I'm not for. In this moment, like, what are you not? Because so often we're focusing on who am I? Where am I? What am I? And it's like, who am I trying to be for everybody else? But actually own your fucking shit and go, right, okay, this is now actually what I'm not. This is what I don't have. This is what I don't do. This is what I don't have access to. Do I have language that creates familiarity, that creates relatability, that creates that level of, okay, that's that person? Story. Your story is your greatest superpower and your story never ends. It's continually evolving, but you also have to be fucking interesting. When I say interesting, that doesn't mean you have to go and do weird and wonderful stuff. You just have to actually just own you and your quirks and perks and what you value and what you're really about. Otherwise, you're trying to change for somebody else, and then how are you communicating how and why and what that ultimately leads to? Can you go through the highs and the lows? How many stories are you telling every single day, every single week through both short form and long form, and then thought leadership? What ideas do you have? Standards and showcase. Why are people buying into you? And again, that's what it goes back down to. Like, this is now about you. But you already have everything that you need. The reason that you don't is because you then don't own it or don't believe. And if there is something, it's like, well, that's the work that I need to go and do. That's the next missing piece that's going to unlock the door. But actually, the moment you own what you're not, that really, really sets you free. Secondly, was like, how can you amplify your IP and your expertise? We're not going to go through any AI stuff because number 1, I'm not a fucking expert. Number 2, I'm not going to give you the tactical. Number 3, I want to help you unpack and understand like why this stuff is going to be so important. So let's have a look at 3 principles. Every single one of you in this room do not need better systems, you need better rhythm. If I followed you around for a week, I would put a lot of money on the fact that you fuck about, procrastinate, you get caught up in busy, you end up getting in your head, you're nowhere near as effective as you possibly could be, and actually you spend so much time doing stuff that doesn't move you forwards, you then get your energy drained, you then end up getting yourself to a point in a place where you're not able to focus on the creativity and the multiplication tasks that are then moving you forwards. And so you can kind of maintain the business and keep it ticking along, but then it never really grows. And the reason that I say that is because I'm the same human being as you, right? So it's like, I guarantee you that absolutely is the case. If I had £1 for every single time somebody's like, Joe, I need better systems. I'm like, mate, you do not need better systems. What you need is a far better rhythm, a better rhythm, energy, and flow around what is it I need to focus on. What am I currently doing that isn't necessarily serving me? And what am I doing that makes me feel safe, makes me feel comfortable, and makes me feel like I'm moving forwards? The majority of you, that'll be coaching. The majority of you, that'll be responding to WhatsApps. The majority of you, that'll be programming. The majority of you, that'll be kind of in the like doing. And the reason being is because growth and stepping into stuff that you've now got to learn and do requires creativity, requires skill, and it's actually hard. To tell you the truth, AI will amplify how good or how shit you are. Simple. That's literally it. If you're a great coach, you're a good communicator, you now have expertise, IP, you've got results. AI is just going to basically speed up your ideation and creation, and it's going to amplify how good you already are at what you currently do. If you are shit, it will just amplify that you're shit. And if you feed it shit, it will give you shit back, and it will give you generic back. It will give you vague back. So if you're like, and that's just direct feedback for you, and that's great because it allows you to iterate with more speed. Number 3, in order for you to be able to effectively grow without sacrificing more of you, you need to be able to efficiently manage what you already have. So you can only grow into what you have available. And if your energy is topped, your bandwidth is limited, you have no capacity, no desire, no fulfillment, you don't have any freedom right now, well actually you then can't grow into that. You've literally hit a glass ceiling. And then the only thing that you've got is more. And we all know how that plays out. Community is the thing that you now have in this day and age, and is going to be the absolute key that unlocks the door to a whole new level in terms of fulfillment, retention, enjoyment, identity. Like, this is literally everything. I spoke about obviously like the pendulum swinging before, and it's like now more than ever people want proximity, they want access, they want to find their people, they want to belong, they want to feel understood, they want to be part of something bigger and greater than them, because actually that's such a core fundamental human need that we have. And I think as you grow and as you evolve, you end up kind of losing a lot of the friends that you had previously. You end up becoming a bit of a weirdo who then looks through the lens of your life in a different way to a lot of people that maybe are around you. You can't connect and resonate and relate in the same way as before. We've had conversations with Alex, you spoke about even just like the disconnection, even in terms of like the industry that Alex is in, for example. It's like, actually you come to events like this and you realize other people want other people to win, whereas actually in other environments, that's not the case. And being able to be in a place with other people where you can actually just like be you and just chat the shit that's in your mind is like such a great position for you to be in. It's actually such a privilege that not many people get the opportunity to experience. And now actually you doing this for your people is going to be super integral. And this is going to be one of the hardest, but one of the most powerful things that you'll do. First question you have to be able to ask yourself, and I've asked this to quite a few of you before, is who does somebody become when they join your program? When somebody steps into your world, who do they become? How do they behave? How do they act? How do they view things? How do you do things? Culture isn't about being able to create like SOPs and like we do this. It's about showing and not telling. Whether that's now in a team or whether that's now basically building a culture and a community of people that come together, right? Like even for us, you think about it. It's like, are we all about business? No. Do we talk about person first? Yes. Do we talk about you being a good coach? Yes. Do we talk about being a great athlete and actually challenging yourself physically? Yes, we absolutely do. Like there's so many elements and components. Like, do we now talk about basically taking a person-first approach to coaching? That's how we deliver things. Do we talk about connection? Do we talk about get the person thriving, the people in profit will follow? Like, so you got to think about like what's the identity that somebody's now stepping into when they're coming into your world. They're in your presence and they're actually around you, because that's what people are buying into. They're not buying into a Facebook group. They're not buying into a transactional kind of fat loss program or whatever it is that you're now buying. They're buying into a way of being, a way of doing, a way of living. And it's your job and your role to create that container, which is why you've got to be a thought leader, which is why you've got to have strong ideas, which is why you've got to be able to really set the standard and set the tone of like, this is how we do things, this is how we behave, because people want to be able to follow. They want to be able to have a path that allows them to feel connected. And when you do that, that becomes the glue that brings everybody together. So the question you ask yourself is, who does somebody become, and how do we do things around here? How do we do things around here? So you've got to let somebody step into it, like this is how I need you to behave. And if you don't set that standard, and people then don't create that as a culture and a community, everybody falls to the lowest level, instead of being risen up to the highest standard and the highest possible. And that's really then the standard that you set for yourself, and then knowing that you're okay with alienating a few people, and that's part of the process that you have to do. And the thing that you need to ask yourself is, what is your ethos going into the end of 2025? This is how we're doing things. So if we look at what are the key components that basically make up a community, we've got connection, person, process. Some of this stuff is going to be super simple. Number one, in order for you to be able to build an incredible community, it comes back down to you, your story, your background. Second thing we've got to be able to think about this as well is, right now, are you currently putting yourself on a pedestal, or are you putting yourself on a platform? If you're on a pedestal, you're so far away from your clients that they can't resonate, they can't relate, and they can't connect. Our goal is to be able to, of course, you have to be one step ahead, but it's actually, how can I put myself on a platform with other people to show you that you're a normal human being, that you have similar struggles, similar challenges, similar experiences, similar things that you're going through, that you're maybe bumping up against, but go back to it. Here's the lessons, here's what I've taken, this is why I do what I do, this is what I've done about it, which is why I now help. Love that. People find relevance in suffering. People find relevance in suffering because we all suffer. And then sometimes when you suffer and you struggle, it's like, I don't want to show people I'm suffering and struggling, but it's like, that's human. And again, there's a level and there's a line, of course, in terms of what you expose and how much you show and how much you share, of course. But it's recognizing and actually appreciating, if you put yourself constantly on a pedestal and not on a platform with people, then there's a disconnect. The second thing is mission. What's the hill that you're now basically going to die on? What is it that you now currently stand for? What's the mission that you're on? What's the problem that you want to solve? What's the North Star that people are now coming into? Like, what is it that you're now working towards and you want people to as a collective? Why is that really important to you? Probably important to you because you didn't have it, you didn't have access to it, or it's something that you struggle with, that you're now basically like, I'm on a fucking mission to help these people because I don't want them to go through what I went through. But are you communicating and conveying and showing and sharing and demonstrating that in terms of the mission and the vision that you now have for you, for where you want to be able to take people and the impact that you want to be able to have? And then, of course, there's the standards. Are you now aspirational? Are you actually now aspirational? Are you, like, serious question, like, are you worth following? So they're the three most important pieces that you need from a personal perspective. Connection. Number one is going to be language. Number two is going to be valued. Now this is uber important. So we have 5 core emotional concerns. We have appreciation, affiliation, autonomy, status, and role. Every single one of you in here will value one of these more than another. And inside a community and inside a room and inside a group, like, it's really, really important that you know exactly what somebody values. Because when you know somebody what's values and what's really important to them on a core emotional level, you can then connect with them. And then, of course, identity. From an identity perspective, exactly the same. This is how we behave. This is how we do things. This is what we do. And you've got to tell people that, because otherwise people don't know how to behave. And a huge part of this is in the onboarding process. Being able to clearly communicate, this is how you behave. This is how we do things. These are the standards that we now set. Process. Number one, platform, offline, online. Is it now actually a WhatsApp group's going to be best? Actually, do you know what? Is it best for you to not have any online communication whatsoever and just to bring your clients together and just go and train with them once every couple of weeks? Is it better to bring everybody into like an app like Schools or GoCollab, whatever we have? Community is not built upon how many messages people send. It's built upon the language that they use. How do they behave? How do you do things? Do they behave in the similar way in which you obviously now create from a cultural perspective? They're all going to be key important elements, not necessarily like how can we just get as many people just to chat away as an example. Second thing we've got to be able to think about is Ascension. Ascension is going to be rewards, leaderboards, progress. People want to be able to progress. They want ascension, opportunities, but it's actually giving people these opportunities to be able to see how can they progress. What would that now look like? What would the next level be? And then actually probably in all of this, pipeline. How are you creating memories and experiences that stick? What have your clients got to look forward to over the next 90 days? So write down one thing that you can then go and do that will basically help you with this. And they're the key pieces. And unfortunately, there's no quick, oh, this is what you can do to try and create something that's going to get your community absolutely thriving culture. And you want to create something that people are really excited to be a part of. That people are actually inspired and they have an aspiration to want to join. One day I want to basically join that program. One day I want to be in that room. One day I want to go to one of those events. And you also want to create an element of FOMO, where they're seeing other people do stuff. It's like, fuck, I basically want to get to that event. I want to do that. That's going to be integral. To close and land the plane, your business is a mirror, as we've already highlighted. And I really want you to ask a couple of questions to yourself when you're basically leaving today. Number one, what are you not wanting to see right now? What don't you want to see right now? What am I avoiding? What don't I want to see? Because the reality is, it's the fucking truth, and it hurts and it's hard and it's resistance, because it means you've got to face yourself. And it means that there's stuff that you're putting off, you don't want to say, you don't want to do, and that's slowly eating away at you, that's stopping you from being able to break through where you want to go and setting yourself free. What would give you more life satisfaction right now? Because we can talk about profit, and we can talk about like more clients, and we can talk about I want more freedom, and we could, whatever it might be, but it's like, actually, do you know what, if I was just to sit still and I was actually just to get really clear around what actually would bring me more life. So walk away from this room realizing, okay, what is it that I'm now going to leave behind? What is it I now want to step into? And realize you've got everything within you. But everything you probably already want, you already have, but you don't allow yourself to appreciate that and feel that, which then leads to you operating from scarcity and not being able to think cleanly. And that's what we all do.